Russell of Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, September 23rd, and this is the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. You know I do it Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So today is Monday. So hope you guys are having a great day, doing well, all that stuff. Hope your weekend was good too. My weekend was good. A lot of football. You know what? I love this time of year. Who doesn't love this time of year? With football and more football. So football starts on Thursday. They play some on Friday. Saturday, of course, is all day college. And then the pros start tomorrow. The pros are on Sunday. And then Monday Night Football today. In fact, I think they're doing 2 games on Monday Night Football today. So who doesn't love this? Okay, so whether you're a fan or not, you don't have to have a favorite team. I don't necessarily have a favorite team. I just love football. I love what goes on. Just love it. I just love it. Anyway, that's it. So I'll be watching again tonight, okay, just in case you did not know. You hadn't thought about it. You hadn't guessed. So I wonder what Russell's going to be doing tonight. Well, he's going to be watching football. That's what he's going to be doing. So anyway, we're live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Let me just make sure I have the chat open. You guys always make comments. It's all about the comments. It's all about engagement, and I appreciate that, no matter who it's from, right? And I can put your comments. You say, hey, you say hello, you say, screw you, whatever. It's going on the screen in real time so the whole world can see. So there you go. There you go. And I always have a topic, so just in case you did not know, maybe it's your first time joining the Daily Check-In with Russell of Hotels. Well, I do a lot of things here. So, the daily check-in is just a quick snapshot of what's going on in the industry from my perspective, right? Not from the entire world or globe's perspective, but it's my perspective because it's all about my experiences and some of the things that I may be dealing with. Just like today, I'm going to talk about a little something. I'm going to touch on something today, but then I'm going to finish it tomorrow on the On Air with Russell of Hotels, which is that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about, right? Tomorrow will be show number 271. Yes, I've done 271 podcasts. In fact, there would be no daily check-in without On Air with Russell of Hotels because I started Russell of Hotels long before I started doing the daily check-in, okay? So daily check-in is 4 days a week. On Air with Russell of Hotels is every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So it has this regular time slot and all that kind of stuff. It's like your favorite TV show on TV, right? Yeah, your favorite TV show. Oh, it comes on, every day at, how people used to watch soap operas back in the day, All My Children, One Life to Live, all that. How do I know that? General Hospital, because I used to watch them, okay? So, so just like that. So General Hospital comes on at noon every day, right? Well, On Air with Russell of Hotels comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST in California because I'm live from Los Angeles. People ask me, why do you always do lives and don't do any pre-recorded stuff, Russell? And I always tell them, I don't like to edit. So it's faster and it's easier for me to just do a live. And if I make mistakes, it's okay. It's all about, that's life, right? So you just keep it moving, right? So, yeah, I don't do a lot of pre-recorded videos because I don't like editing them. So I'd rather just go on live and just say what I have to say and then get off and that's it, right? I don't have to edit anything. I may have to type up a little, summary of what I talked about and things like that, but that's about it. I don't have to, cut and paste and all this and cut this out. Oh, I said the wrong thing. I really need to retake this. No, we're not doing all that. We're not doing all of that. So let me just make sure real quick. Oh, shoot. Let me make sure this is off. Turn my sound down. Got a lot going on here, and I didn't even think about. Okay, there we go. I'm there. Like I said, live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. So feel free to make your comments. Like I already said that. So anyway, Vea Resort. So we're live at the Vea Newport Beach. We're not live from there. I was live from there maybe, I don't know, about a month ago, but I'm not live there now. But the hotel, the resort or whatever that I'm showcasing today is the Vea in Newport Beach. So you've never been there before. It is a Marriott property. You need to check it out, get your points, all that stuff, right? So Vea, and it's spelled correct, VEA. I don't know what it stands for. I don't know if it's an acronym. I really don't know. But it's a dope hotel, dope property, sits on a golf course, has a spa, all those kind of things, has restaurants. Very nice. Service is great. Everything. Rooms are nice. Rooms are they're well appointed. What does that mean, well appointed? Well, the rooms are well appointed. I remember going on a tour, it was years ago, and someone said well appointed rooms. Oh, you can tell our rooms are well appointed. What the heck does that mean? Well appointed. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. I never really looked it up to see. And when I asked them, I said, what does that mean? Well, they're nice. They're a cut above. They're well appointed. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever the heck that means. But I'm gonna look that up and see exactly what well appointed means. And I'm gonna bring it back so I can share with everyone. Okay. But anyway, the blog. Okay, I always want to talk about my blog. I always do a blog, and well, always, but I update it. I don't know, once or twice a week, depending on what I'm talking about, the topics. Any topic that I discuss here on the daily check-in, as well as on air with Russell of Hotels, will be on the blog. So the topics from today, I will cut and paste that one on the blog as well. So it'll be ready a little later, right? So you don't have to write notes and all that stuff. Just go to the blog and check it out. All that stuff will be right there, okay? Because this may go a little fast for you. I don't know. Some people are like, oh my God, he's going too fast. But you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about. So everything, like I said, the blog is all about, hospitality or things that I deal with, experiences that I have, dealing with certain things, contracts, being a meeting planner or a hotel site selection specialist, dealing with guests as when I was a general manager, or dealing with certain things as a director of sales and marketing, maybe contracts and addendums and all that kind of stuff. So I talk about a little bit of everything, what guests do, what employees do at hotels, the good, the bad, the ugly. I mix a little bit of everything in there. And it's all, once again, based on my experiences. Some of the things I talk about, they're based on conversations I've had with people that are still working on property. I don't work, my business is not necessarily predicated on being on property. Oh yeah, I do go to properties a lot, but I don't have to be on property, 24/7, like if I work there. Okay, so I'm a consultant, and I do, content creating, hotel site selection. So I'm in and out of hotels all the time. If it's for a group meeting, I'm planning a group meeting, whatever. I'm just there to check it out. I'm there to do site tours, site inspections, all those kind of things. So I'm in and out of hotels. So I come to you with a wealth of experience, just in case you did not know. Over 25 to 30 years of experience in this industry. Started off as a housekeeping manager, worked at 14 different hotels. Yeah, 14, 1-4. Is it counting and counting? Nah, I don't. You know what? I don't know. You never say never. You just never know. An opportunity may come up and say, hey, you want number 15? I have to think about it, right? I don't know. So never say never. I'll never say that I'll never go back on property, but I like what I'm doing now because I'm able to assist multiple hotels with, say, marketing and branding. That's my sweet spot. I love marketing and branding and creating brand awareness for hotels that actually think they have enough brand awareness. Well, they don't, right? Unless if you're running 100%, 24/7, 365, if you're running that, then you don't need any help at all with brand awareness. Because people think because their hotel is out there, it's a brand, and got a website, everybody knows about it. That is so far from the truth. Everybody doesn't know about your hotel. Did you know about Vea Hotel Resort in Newport Beach? I mean, I'm sure it does well, but it's not running 100%, 24/7, 365. I guarantee you it's not. So any hotel that's not running those numbers, they need some help with brand awareness. There's someone out there, there's probably multiple people out there that don't know that Vea Resort even exists. Just like they may not even know that Russell of Hotels exists, okay? So it's not about the people that know me or know what I do. It's about the people that don't know what I do or don't know who I am, okay? I'm trying to reach those people, okay? So that's the same thing that hotels should be doing. I'm trying to reach that person in the back of the room that has no idea my hotel in Newport Beach exists. Boom, there you go. So does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway, but these daily check-ins don't have to be that long. I'm just letting you know that. I'm at 10 minutes right now. They normally go about 15 to 20 minutes, okay? But if I have questions and answer period, all that stuff, you know what? I welcome all that, right? So if I have to go 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever, then I will. But normally 15 to 20 minutes. Just thought I'd throw that disclaimer out there because, like, oh my God, this is long as the show that he does on Tuesdays. Now, the one on Tuesday on air with Russell of Hotels does go for an hour. Okay, that's an hour slot, just like the soap operas, right? It goes for about an hour, right? So General Hospital went for an hour. All My Children went for an hour. You know, all those shows. I don't know why I'm on this soap opera thing today, but it is what it is. Okay, real quick, I just mentioned a while ago, like contracts and things like that. So, you know, in my job as a hotel site selection person, I look at contracts all the time, right? I look at contracts before they go to my client. So I ask for the contract from my hotel partners. I want to look it over before I send it, before I or we send it over to my client. So I'm looking at a lot of things, a lot of clauses, things like that. And the one that comes up that really didn't come up before until like COVID was the force majeure clause. You know what I mean? People are like, what the heck? You know, they see it, but they never really paid attention to it. They just saw it and they, you know, okay, you know what, force majeure, because nothing really applied to it. Nothing really applies unless you live in an area where there's natural disasters and stuff like that. Then you really want to pay more attention to it. But no one out, you know, most people never paid attention to it until COVID. COVID came, and then everyone is looking at their force majeure because a lot of meeting planners like myself or hotel site selection people, companies that represented companies and organizations like myself, we look for that stuff because we're trying to get out of these contracts now. And thank goodness a lot of hotels understood what was going on because they were hurting too, right? Everybody's hurting. Everybody's in the same boat. So they basically, you know, just, okay, that's fine. You can get out of the contract, right? All you had to do is call them and they will let you out of the contract, regardless of how your clause was written. Now, fast forward after that, they're like, you know what? Hotels are like, we're not getting burned on this force majeure again. So unless this thing is in the contract, airtight, you know, and a lot of hotels will do it just to benefit them. A lot of people like myself, hotel site selection people, meeting planners, you know, they just go along with what the hotel has in their contract or their clause, right? Well, you know, we need to make sure it's mutually beneficial to both parties, not just to the hotel, not just to the meeting planners, but mutually beneficial for both parties. And some people are okay with that, meaning some hotels are okay with that. Some hotels would always try to, you know, well, no, this is what we want, this is how we have to have it and all this kind of stuff. But no, you have to stick to your guns, right, when it comes to certain things. And this force majeure clause is one of those things. And it's not that, you know, we want the hotel to lose out on things or hotel wants us to lose out on things. It's just we want to make sure that it's beneficial, or we should want to make sure that it's beneficial for both parties. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes people still don't even pay attention to it because they don't understand what it is. So real quick, so I'm going to go over what is a force majeure clause. It's in every contract, you know, it's normally towards the end of the contract. So if it's like a, you know, 10, 15 page contract, it's probably on page number 12 or 13, you know, so somewhere in the back. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. But like I said, a lot of people never paid attention to it. Like, oh, an act of God. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, you know, that's never going to happen. Okay, whatever. No one ever put in pandemic, epidemic. Never. Some of them did have that. They were like boilerplate clauses, meaning everyone got the same thing, and it really didn't matter because it didn't really affect anything, right? It never really happened. You never had to pull that, you know, that force majeure, you know, that clause and say, hey, well, look at this right here. Well, now because of COVID, you know, we learned a lot of things because of COVID. But anyway, so I'm going to tell you what a force majeure clause is, go over some key points, and then tomorrow I'm going to go over some other stuff, right? But today is we're just going to concentrate on these 5 things. And I'm just going to read them. I'm not going to add any of my commentary to it. I'll say that for tomorrow, okay? So like I said, this show don't have to be that long, and this could be a really detailed kind of conversation, but I'm not trying to do all that today. So just real quick, what is a force majeure clause? The force majeure clause is a provision commonly found in contracts contracts that frees both parties from liability or obligation when an extraordinary event or circumstance beyond their control occurs, preventing one or both parties from fulfilling the contract. These events are often referred to as acts of God and typically include natural disasters like floods, earthquakes, or hurricanes, man-made events like wars, strikes, riots, and even certain governmental actions or regulations. Okay, so we know what that is, right? So key points of a force majeure clause. Number one, in there right there written, defines specific events. The clause usually lists specific events that qualify as force majeure, such as natural disasters or terrorism, pandemics, or government-imposed restrictions. See, now that one has, I mean, I wrote this, you don't see this, and I'll make sure I share what I'm reading on my blog, okay? So, but yeah, so, majeure. Pandemic or epidemic was normally in there, but like I said, it was in the fine print. You really didn't see it, but like all the ones that I had, it was in there. Like I looked at all my past contracts, you know, right around that COVID time, and I looked to see if it was in there. Although a lot of hotels were letting you out of it just because it was the right thing to do back then, they didn't have to. Hotels didn't have to. If that pandemic was not written into that force majeure, you're responsible for that, right? You are responsible for, you know, you're still responsible for the meeting and the loss of revenue and all that kind of stuff, right? So, you know, like I said, hotels just kind of like, you know what, you know, we're all hurting on this, and it's not the right thing to do, and this is uncharted territory. So they let us off the hook for the most part. Number two, temporary or permanent relief. The clause can provide temporary relief such as postponing performance, or permanent relief such as contract termination without liability, depending on the situation. See, that was what hotels did the last time, or did the first time. Number three, notice requirements. Typically, one party must notify the other in writing within a specific period after the force majeure event occurs. So, you know, after the pandemic, you know, when we were in the pandemic, you know, people were calling hotels and said, hey, we're not going to be able to come. They're not going to be able to meet. Everyone's sick, you know, and the government basically said, you know, you need to shut down and, you know, don't do anything. Businesses are closed. Airlift is not like it was before. So it was a hardship for people to get there, no matter where you were in the United States. Say if you're meeting in the middle of America, it was hard for you to get there. So a lot of things is like a domino effect, right? So like I said, a lot of hotels let the meeting planners or the companies, groups out of their agreements. Number four, effect on obligations. It clarifies how contractual obligations are effective, such as delaying the obligation or canceling the contract altogether without penalties. Boom. And number five, exclusions. Certain events may be excluded, such as financial hardship, making it clear that not all challenges qualify as force majeure, like, oh, you're going to be out of money because of this or something like that. No, that ain't a reason for a force majeure. That should not be in a force majeure. Force majeure clauses became especially relevant during the COVID-19 pandemic as businesses sought legal relief due to travel bans, shutdowns, and health regulations impacting contracts. You couldn't do anything about it, right? So that's why you got out of it. This clause protects both parties from being held responsible for circumstances that neither could have foreseen or prevented, offering a fair resolution in cases where continuing the contract is impossible or impractical. So yeah, so those are the things that, you know, we got out of. We didn't have to worry about them, right? So tomorrow I'm gonna go over how to develop a force majeure clause that basically is mutual beneficial. I'm gonna go over that tomorrow. Can you believe that? But anyway, yeah, so just give you a little taste of this. Once again, this information in its entirety will be on my blog. Just go to russellofhotels.com and you'll see, go to the blog, drop down, hit that button, bing, and it'll just pop up. It'll just explode and pop up. And you're like, oh my God, this is so cool. But yeah, so check it out. And if you don't follow me on YouTube, please do so. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Russell of Hotels. Everything is Russell of Hotels, right? It's all about branding, right? All about being creating that brand awareness. So yeah, go to my YouTube channel, Russell of Hotels. Hit the subscribe button so anytime I go live, ding, you get a notification. Okay. So what? Oh, tomorrow. All right. Okay. Tomorrow I'm gonna continue the how to develop a force majeure clause that's mutual beneficial for the group or the company as well as the hotel. Right. I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. It's gonna be show number 271 on air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about. Okay. Maybe you haven't heard of it, but you've heard of it now. See, that's the thing. It's all about awareness, right? A lot of people haven't heard of it. It's not for the people, I'll say this again, it's not for the people that have heard about it. It's for the people that have not. And for the people that have heard about it, tell a friend. There you go. So once again, tomorrow on air with Russell of Hotels. We'll be on tomorrow, Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST. And we're going to talk about, once again, creating or developing a force majeure clause that's mutually beneficial for everyone. So I'm a resource, right? So if any questions at all, if you need any assistance, you want to talk, you want to chit chat, like, hey, I want to work in a hotel. How do I do it? Whatever. Call me. Hey, what do you think about this position? I'm going for this position, but I really want that one. What do you think about that? Hey, I give you the pros and cons of both, right? Why you should, why you shouldn't. Well, it's up to you. Comes down to you. But I worked in 14 different hotels, held various positions. Started off as a housekeeping manager, as an ID trainee with Marriott Hotels, in the housekeeping, right? So that's what I started off years and years ago, and that was the best thing in the world for me because at that point I didn't know anything about hotels. I never worked in a hotel. I've been to hotels before, with my family as kids and things like that, but I never thought about working in a hotel or knew what that even entailed, like how to sell a hotel. I remember my first job offer. Now that was my first job with Marriott, right? But my first job offer was as a sales manager, and I didn't know when they offered me this job. They were talking to me about this job. I didn't know what they sold. I'm like, what do you mean you're a sales manager? What do you sell? Tell me, because once again, I didn't know. I was ignorant. I didn't know anything about how hotels operate for the most part. Although we did like part of some of my classes, we did sales blitzes and things like that, but still, you were just doing a portion of it, right? And you were helping someone else. But how are you responsible for this entire hotel? And what am I selling? I didn't know about market segments. No one broke down, well, there's a Smurf market. What the hell is Smurf? Okay, the little blue people on TV on Saturday mornings, that was a Smurf, right? I didn't know what the heck the Smurf market was. Smurf, corporate, tour and travel, international travel. IBT, corporate group. What did all this stuff mean? Crew rooms. What is all that? I did not know that, right? So it was to my benefit that I stuck with Marriott and said, you know what? I need to know more about how this department, relates to that department. How housekeeping and front desk should be on the same accord, right? I didn't know. What about housekeeping and engineering, housekeeping and food and beverage? Do those relate? If they do, I need to know, right? So it took a while for me to like, oh, dang, okay, I get it now. But it took me going to a full service hotel to really understand, because I started my career with Courtyard, right, which is limited service, select service hotels, right? So the services were limited there. There's no room service. There was a food and beverage component there, but there was no room service, anything like that then. So no spa, nothing like that. No valet parking. All those things came later. When I left Marriott and went to a full service hotel, which happened to be a Sheraton, right? This is long before Sheraton became part of Marriott, okay? It was Starwood. It was Sheraton ITT. Then I believe it went to Starwood, right? And then Marriott bought Starwood some years ago, not too long ago. I don't know, less than 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Almost about 15 years, somewhere around there. Maybe not even 15 years ago. So, so all these things are different, right, back then. So, I mean, I'm like, well, what does this really mean? So it took me time to figure it out, but I figured it out, right? So there you go. So sometimes people need, a little education, and I'm here for all that. Once again, I'm a resource. So I'm a resource for people that want to learn, a resource for people that maybe they know it all already, and maybe they still need some advice on certain things. I'm here for it. So once again, Russell of Hotels. Can you see that? Russell of Hotels. In fact, that is kind of, I don't like that because I can't see it. I can't really see it. So I can really change it. Just darken it real quick. Boom. Okay, that's how we do it. That's how we roll it. So yeah, Russell of Hotels, Russell at russellofhotels.com is my email. Go to my website, russellofhotels.com. My phone number is there. So if you want to call me, feel free to do that because I welcome the phone calls, the emails, the in messages, the sliding it into DMs, all that stuff, right? I'm here for all that. I'm on every social media platform, channel, whatever. So however you want to get a hold of me, I'm here for all of it. So that is it, I think. So once again, this is the Vea Hotel Resort in Newport Beach, California. Did I tell you you can see the ocean from there, from the windows, or depending on what side you're on, the hotel, right? But you can see the bay, the Newport Bay, and you can see the ocean and and that's the Pacific Ocean, just in case you didn't know. What ocean is he talking about? The Atlantic? No, this is California, so it's the Pacific Ocean. So anyway, I think that is it. But once again, make sure you guys tune in for tomorrow. Tomorrow is On Air with Russell of Hotels, show number 271. It's going to be great. We're going to talk about, I'm going to extend the conversation on force majeure clause, because that's one of the things that's been on, like I said, I look at contracts all the time for my clients. So that was just something that just popped in my head. Hey, you never talked about that on your show before. That little voice in your head told me that. I said, okay, well, okay, all right, I'll talk about force majeure today. So there you go, just a little information. And once again, that information will be, you don't have to memorize it, you don't have to remember. Just if you want to replay this, that's fine. But I'm gonna put it on my blog, russellofhotels.com. Go to the blog section, it'll be there, and I'll take care of that. Okay, so that's it. So until tomorrow, thank you guys so much. Tomorrow at 1:00 PST. Okay, that's On Air with Russell of Hotels. Did I say that already? But sometimes you got to repeat stuff. Okay, sometimes I forget that I said it. So there you go. That is it. I'm at 27 minutes. Didn't I tell you it's between 15 and 20 minutes? I'm at 7 minutes over. I'm sorry, but I'm under 30. So is that good or what? I don't know. Anyway, that is it. You guys have a great afternoon.